Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third lesson in the Chance to Shine live series. Today's lesson is called Super Striker, and we're going to be focusing on our batting skills. Our coaching team of Joe and Rehan are with us once again. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
And they've got, as you can see, their bats and their frying pans and their balls ready to go for our first activity. We also say a big hello this week to our Yorkshire Tea School of the Week, who are Merton Primary School from Basingstoke in Hampshire. Give us a wave, guys. There we go. So look, they've shown brilliant enthusiasm across both lessons so far, and they're going to be on screen during today's activity, showing you how much fun they're having and how they're challenging themselves once again. We also say a massive thank you to our long-time supporters and our friends at Yorkshire Tea, who will be providing bumper supplies of tea for the current and future schools of the week. So remember, if you want to get involved, we'll explain a bit more at the end, but please include us in your tweets and your posts and Yorkshire Tea, of course. We're also incredibly lucky this week as we've not only got our coaches providing some tips, but we've got a very special guest who will be sharing their advice later on in the lesson. So please do keep your eyes peeled. It's one not to miss. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, let us know what school you're from in the chat bar. We'll try and give as many shout outs as we can as the lesson goes on. So today's learning objectives. Number one, we're going to be developing an effective and consistent striking action for hitting the ball. And number two, we want you to, where you can, provide positive feedback to a partner to help them improve their performance. So last week's lesson, we did a bit of partner work. If you've got a partner this week, see if you can provide some feedback. Once again, we've got 3 activities. Our first one is called bat taps. Our second is pairs passing or rebound passing. If you haven't got a partner, you can use a wall for that one. And our final challenge is called hit the gaps. You're going to need a bit of safe space. So please do check with the adults at home or the teachers in school about that space. For this week's lesson, that one's really important because we're going to be striking. You need to make sure you've got enough safe space around you to swing that bat or that frying pan or whatever you've got in your hand. You'll need something to act as a ball. So I've got my usual collection of soft balls and socks, but we do encourage you where you can to try and use a tennis ball or a softball today, because if we want to get that rebound, we might need a little bit more spring. Don't worry if you haven't got one, but if you have, that's the best bit to use. You'll need a wall or a safe space to rebound off if you haven't got a partner to work with. And also 4 small targets. So something like a milk carton, something safe that you can't break. I'm going to use my socks actually as my targets, and we'll explain more as we go on. Like last week, we're encouraging you to work in pairs if you can, and that's particularly important for activities 2 and 3. So start to have a think about who you're going to work with and how you're going to work together to get your very best out of each other. Remember, go at your own pace. You need to take a break, please do. And keep a drink to hand if you need it as we go on. Right, make sure you've got your ball or socks and your bat or frying pan ready to go, because Rehan is going to get us straight into some action with bat taps. Rehan, over to you.
Thank you, Ian. So as Ian said, we're going to start with doing some warm-up. So we're going to get straight into bat taps. So if you took part in the first week, you may remember that I was using a frying pan, but today I've got my bat with me. So what I'm going to do today is do bat taps with my bat. So for the first, just to get warmed up, I'm going to give you 2 minutes on the clock. I just want you to do some bat taps. Right, off you go. Right, don't worry if the ball drops. Just start again. Just enjoy it. Get yourself a little bit warm.
So at the end of this 2 minutes, Rehan's going to go through our keys to success. But if you can remember those from our first week, put them into practice.
Yeah, absolutely. feels a lot harder doing it with the bat. The frying pan seemed easier.
It's good to see you challenging yourself, Rehan. We like that, stepping up that challenge. Right, so as we go in, we've already got some shout outs. So Helmsley Primary School, Year 5 and 6 Bubble, Sharman's Cross, Bridge Junior, Godolphin, who've been with us before, so great to see you back again. Berks Woodhead Primary, Preston Primary, Kingmore Junior, Lanesfield Primary and Glade Primary. Great to have you on board, guys. Remember, many more shout outs we can give as we go along.
Burton looking really good there as well, gents. Looking really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you using the frying pan there, Joe?
Yeah, it's exhausting. I'm warm.
So, Rehan, I'm going for it. I'm going to see if I can balance the ball on my bat as well.
Oh.
Test that one. So I'm cheating because it's not a bat tap, but I'm doing some balance.
It's not a bat tap, no.
I like the balance one on a frying pan.
Yeah. Can you do the pancake, Joe?
Movements.
Oh yeah, practicing. Next month, Drove Tuesday, practicing for Pancake Day.
Far away, is it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of weight training, actually.
Not long left to go. Just keep going. Right, last couple of seconds. And that's time. Right, well done, everyone. Well done there, Merton. See some really good back taps going on there. So as Ian mentioned at the beginning, just make sure that you do have enough space and make sure that you're not too close to the person next to you. Because we've got bats or frying pans, we want to make sure that first of all, it is safe. Right, so as you can also remember from the beginning, Ian also mentioned that we are going to talk about the keys to success, right? So one of the keys to success is going to be to watch the ball all the way onto your bat. So if you look at what I'm doing, so I'm keeping my eye on the ball, I'm watching the ball as it goes onto the bat, right? And the second key to success is keeping both hands on the bat, right? So if you keep both hands on the bat, it will give you more control and hopefully it will allow you to get more bat taps in. So watching the ball, 2 hands on the bat. Right, okay, so if you remember from the first week when I did bat taps, we talked about creating a personal best for yourself. So if you took part in the first week, if you can remember your personal best, I want you to try and beat it. If you didn't take part in the first week, that's absolutely not a problem. What I want you to do is use the next 2 minutes to create a personal best. A personal best is how many taps you can get from your bat before you lose the ball or you drop the ball, right? So if you can remember what your personal best was in week 1, I want you to try and beat that. And if you didn't do it, I want you to spend the next 2 minutes trying to create a personal best and see how high of a score you can get, right? So you've got 2 minutes. Remember your keys to success. Off you go.
Brilliant stuff. So Rehan, that first key to success, watching that ball, what I noticed when you were doing that, I could see your head nodding up and down.
Yeah.
It showed me how closely you were watching that from in the air right onto the face of your bat.
Yeah. So Joe, Ian, any tips? Do you think we can make it a little bit harder? So Joe, you've gone to a bat now, so.
Brilliant. So Joe's challenging herself. I'm going to throw a little challenge in there. So, like all coaches, we steal ideas off each other. So I'm going to give a shout out here to James Morgan from Northumberland Cricket. Hello, James, if you are joining us. So James did a brilliant challenge back in the first lockdown where you had to try and hit the ball on every edge of the bat. So we've got 7 edges. We've got the face, we've got the back, you've got left edge, which is inside edge for me as a right-hander, outside edge, the bottom, and the top. So see how many of those you can get. That is a challenge. And if you can do that before dropping the ball, that's that's mega level.
Did James get all 7?
I think he did. I don't know how many takes it took him. He'll probably tell us it was 1 or 2.
Right.
Like that Lucasade advert, isn't it? When he gets golf and knocks the CD into the game station. That's one. Right. How many takes does it take?
I think that's a lot. That's very difficult.
Brilliant. Loving to see Merton challenging themselves. We've got some more shout outs here. So we've got Robin Hood Primary back again, Shat Primary, Bosham Primary. We've got Noah from Halifax who's taking part in Amesbury Primary as well.
All right. So not long left, guys. Remember, keep going. Try and beat your personal best. Don't worry if you can't. Just keep trying. Remember, practice, practice, practice. Right, last couple of seconds. And time. Right, well done, everyone. Hopefully, some of us may have managed to beat our personal best. But don't worry if you didn't. You know, there's always next time. You can always keep trying. And remember, it's your personal best, so it's only your score that you have to beat, right? If you did it for the first time today, hopefully you managed to create a score for yourself so you know what score you have to beat the next time you do the activity. So as Ian mentioned there, there's a few different ways. He made it a little bit more challenging. I think what he mentioned there was quite a lot challenging for me. So what else we can do now is we're going to move on to the final section. And this one, what I want us to do is, if we can, I want us to grab a couple of things that you may have around you and put them on the floor, because what we're going to do is we're going to do some back taps and we're going to move around the things that we put on the floor. So I'm just going to, if you all just have a look at Ian's screen, what Ian's going to do is he's going to place a few things on the floor. Doesn't matter, whatever you have to hand, just to make sure that there's nothing valuable on the floor. So I think Ian's got a couple of balls there and he's got his bat ready. So what he's going to do...
I've actually got an apple as well. And I've got the socks and the apple, Rehan.
Oh, so socks, apple and ball. Perfect. So whatever you've got to hand. So it doesn't have to be 3 things, a couple of things, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. So what Ian's going to do is he's going to do back taps and he's going to move around without touching the things on the floor, right? So if you all just look at Ian's screen, he's moving around, trying not to touch the things that he's put on the floor, right? So for this bit, you know, get a bit creative. You know, try different things if you want, right? And obviously, again, just make sure you've got a safe space to do it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a ping pong racket, a small racket, and a small ball. So this is very challenging. It'd probably be difficult for me to keep 2 hands on the racket because it's so small. But just for the purpose of this, making it a bit more challenging, I'm going to use 1 hand, right? So it's a bit challenging. So if you can challenge yourself, place a few things on the floor, move around, and see how many back taps you can get, right? So you've got last 2 minutes, off you go.
Love it, Rehan. So this just adds a little bit of change up, doesn't it? So we're starting to think about how we can move and tap at the same time.
Yeah, that's it.
If you're working in a class as well, gents, you might have lots of people there. You might be making sure you don't bump into any other people.
I love what Merton have put there. Yeah, absolutely. I love all the obstacles that Merton have put there, trying to avoid them. That's great.
So we've got some more shout outs. So Cook and Rise are with us. Oldham Primary. We've got Lucy Harris got 87 back taps. Well done, Lucy. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Hopefully a new personal best.
Lucy.
Cameron got 26. Caitlin Pickett's taking part as well. So brilliant stuff, guys.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Keep going.
So Rehan, I'm doing the movements, but I thought I'd try and balance the ball again on my back. So I've got to watch it carefully, but I'm trying to make sure I move. But if the back taps are a real challenge, you can balance that ball.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that I thought as well, if we don't have a frying pan to hand, if we don't have a bat or any type of bat, we can even use our hand. No, it's a little bit more. It still is challenging, but we can even use our hand to do some back taps. So you can even swap.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Like that. Move around as well at the same time. Avoid everything that you've got on the floor. And yeah, we can do lots of different things.
So last 20 seconds, we've got Reed Primary on board as well.
Keep going, guys. And we just enjoy it, have fun. Some really great back taps from Merton Primary there. Brilliant. And that's time. Right. That was brilliant, everyone. Hope everyone managed to take part and you managed to, if you didn't beat your personal best, but hopefully you managed to, but if not, then you've always got next time to try and beat your personal best. Remember the 2 keys to success: keeping your head still, keeping your eyes on the ball all the way to the bat, and trying to keep 2 hands on the bat. Right? So well done, everyone. I'm just going to pass you back to Ian now.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ian. So the thing that I loved about that is, yes, we did that in week 1, but even this time round, we were so much more creative, found new ways to do it, which is brilliant. And you guys can use your skills to do that differently as well. And brilliant keys to success, Rehan. Remember those ones for later. They'll be coming very handy. So, right, we did promise you a very special guest for today's lesson. And now it's time to hear from them. So, this person is not only a superb leader, a World Cup winner, but also one of the finest batsmen that our country has ever produced. And he's definitely a super striker. He's had a flying start to 2021, scored an amazing 228 in 1 innings against Sri Lanka in the first Test match. And he didn't stop there. He then scored another 186 runs in the second Test match. What skill and resilience. Can you guess who it is yet? I'm sure a few of you might be able to. All I will say is remember to listen and watch carefully on this video, because you will hear 3 top super striker tips. Okay, now we're going to watch the video. Remember to listen and watch carefully.
Hi everyone, Joe Root here. It's great to see so many of you taking part in the live Chance to Shine sessions at home. I've got 3 very simple batting tips for you. The first one being watch the ball all the way onto the bat. Really important that you keep your eyes on the ball for as long as possible, give you the best chance of hitting it. Sounds very simple, but it's so important. Secondly, as much as you can, try and get your head over the ball when you can make contact with it. Really important that when you hit the ball, if your head's close to it and you're watching it very closely, you'll give yourself a really good chance of making a good connection. And finally, swing as hard as you can with your head still. Keep your head still. That's really important. If your eyes are going all over the place, make it very hard to look at the ball. We've got a little ball of rolled up socks here, because we haven't got any balls here, but it's so easy to be able to practice at home. Just try and give you a nice and really important. Keep your head still, head over the ball, and watch it all the way onto the bat. One more. And there you have it. Enjoy, everyone.
Wow. So firstly, that's amazing. And who better to hear of about being a batter than Joe Root right now? So Joe, our amazing England captain, a massive thank you to Joe for giving us a Chance to Shine Live some brilliant tips. So Joe's tips, remember, watch that ball all the way onto the point of contact. Get your head over the ball at contact so we can hit it down and be balanced. And last but not least, keep the head nice and still so you can watch that ball. So we're going to put that into practice right now. And our second activity is called rebound passing or pairs passing. So if you've got a partner, work with them. If you haven't, you can use a wall. So we're going to shortly just have 2 minutes. And all we're going to do, okay, get our ball. You can start on the floor if you want. And all you're going to do is hit it against the wall, nice and controlled. Let it come back to you and then keep going. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick demonstration. You might need to move around. Okay, but remembering to watch that ball all the way. Okay, and get that head over the top of the ball like Joe said. Okay, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can get the ball off the floor. So bounce it and hit it back. Up to you how you want to challenge yourself. I'm using my tennis ball on my bat for this one. But go and explore, work with your partner. Remember, if you're working with your partner, to give each other some positive feedback, thinking about those keys to success that Joe said. So we're going to have 2 minutes to explore our striking. Away you go. Yeah, you got a few more shout outs. Got Oaks Primary, Trelloworth School in Cornwall, and Hill and Bank. Joe, so you were listening to Joe Root's tips there. Anything that you really picked up and focused in on?
I'm completely starstruck, Ian. That's what I am. I think keeping my head still, personally, I know my friends from Chesterwood Hall who I play with will be laughing because I always have a wobbly head. So I'm definitely going to be practicing keeping my head still.
And you know what, Joe? I really like that because there's 3 keys to success, but it might be difficult to try and do all of them at once. So I love the fact that you're focusing on one that will make a big difference to you. What about you, Rehan?
I think for me, it's about keeping your head still. I think it's so important so that we've got control over our body as well. Keeping your head still when you hit the ball, it gives us a better opportunity, a better chance to hit the ball by keeping that still. So you're in control, and that's probably my biggest one from Joe.
And it links in, doesn't it, with watching the ball. So if you've got your head still, you can move your eyes in a lot more controlled way to watch that ball onto the bat.
Absolutely, yeah.
So keep going, guys. We've got about 30 seconds left. And keep practicing those skills. Get it rebounding back off the wall or passing it with your partner.
What I love about this rebound, Ian, is you get lots and lots of goes. So I've got a nice short distance here, so I'm getting lots and lots of practice.
That's
Brilliant. There's no better way, isn't it? Loads of practice. Hit as many balls as you can.
Yeah. And it's great if we do have a partner, but if we don't, obviously at the wall just as great.
Brilliant. So last 5 seconds or so. Brilliant stuff. So hopefully, as Joe said there, we've had a chance to get lots of goes in, and that's important, lots of practice. And as Joe Root showed as well, small space, using his socks, even the pros at the very highest level of the game, they adapt their exercises and take it from there. Right, we're going to move this on to a bit of a challenge now. Okay, so I want you to challenge yourself, either personal best or with your partner. We want you to see in the next 2-minute section how many times you can get that ball to go backwards and forwards. Okay, remember the keys to success. Remember keeping control, but we want to see how many you can do on your own or with your partner. So that's the first challenge. You can also do another nice little side challenge in there, which is to see how many you can do in a rally. So think about sports that we might use a rally, so tennis, badminton. That's how many we can do before the ball goes off to the side. So I'll just do a little example here. So I'm going to hit it back. There we go, that's 2, 3. Okay, and it hit the side wall, so that was out of play for me. So I got 3 as my best rally there. I can keep getting my overall score higher, but I also want to see if I can beat my rally of 3. So remember those keys to success. Keep that head still, watch that ball. See how many you can do, or with your partner, how many you can do in 2 minutes. So 2 minutes, over to you.
I think one of the most important things here, Ian, was don't hit it too hard.
A bit of control, Rehan, so get that control first, yeah?
Yeah, control,
Lovely.
yeah. So we don't want to try and hit it too hard so we lose control.
Brilliant, great advice. So we've got a few more shout outs. We've got Blue Coat Primary, we've got Audley Junior School in Blackburn. To say a big hello to Mr. Hussain over there, who's a street coach for the Chance to Shine.
That's right,
We've
yeah.
got Madeley School. Yeah, hi Farouk. Madeley School, Reed Street, Southcote Primary, Burley Woodhead. So lovely to see so many schools all around the country taking part.
Loving seeing what Merton are doing as well there, guys. Merton is showing us how it's done. Lots of good practice.
Yeah, some really
I like
good
that.
use of
So
tennis
creative.
rackets
We've
as well.
got buckets, yeah, tennis rackets. We've got some working in pairs going on there as well. That's good. I can see people giving each other feedback and helping each other out. Great skills.
I'm using a stump at the minute as well, guys, to try and really practice. So I've got my Chance to Shine. Yeah, you could use something from the garden, perhaps really challenge myself with a small stump. But just keeping going. I'm not getting it every time. I'm trying.
Very creative, that, Joe. I like that.
So we've got Sharpness School, Winterbourne Academy, Roxham School have joined us as well. So Joe, that stump is very Don Bradman-esque as well. That.
It is.
So here's a little challenge for people listening. Who is Don Bradman and why is he famous as a cricketer? We'll leave that as a question to answer in our YouTube chat.
That's where I got the idea from. Best ideas are borrowed.
So Hazelwood Academy with us as well. Well done, guys. That is time up on our pairs passing or rebound passing activity. So brilliant work, hopefully, and we saw that from Merton there, didn't we? Working together as a pair and giving each other feedback. That's so important. Yes, it's one of our objectives, but we want you to help each other out, develop those skills to make each other better. Right, we're going to move on to our final activity, our challenge activity, which is hit the gaps. Joe, over to you.
Thanks, Ian. Wow. Well, as always, I've got nice and warm already. So fingers crossed this last challenge will be somewhere we can hone those skills we've already learned. So equipment, you've probably seen me try and use lots of different things. I've seen Merton have lots of fantastic equipment. You guys in your house might do. But you're going to need something to create a gap. The game is called Hit the Gaps. So I've got some bottles or some old milk bottles that I might try and put down to create a gap. So if you're working with a partner, one person would stand on one side, one person on the other, a bit like a tennis match. But the aim of the game is we're going to play with that gap and try and get that ball through as many times as possible. We could use our cricket bats. If you're using your cricket bat, great. You could really challenge yourself using your stump, or you've got tennis rackets or anything, or even your frying pan if you want to bend down nice and low. Okay. So a bit like what we've just practiced with our rebound striking with Ian, what I would like you to do is go and find just one sort of target. If you're in school, you might use cones as well, so don't be afraid to use cones, but you just need to create one gap. So I've got my milk bottles here. And just so we can practice our distance, decide whether we need to make the gap smaller or bigger. Okay, I'm going to start with mine quite big. Just want you to try and practice hitting through that target as many times as you can. So imagine there's a goalkeeper and you're trying to get that ball through there as many times as you can. You've got 2 minutes, guys. Make your gap. Okay, and let's try and hit it with our practice. Ready when you are. Go, go, go.
I've got some batting cones here that I could use for mine.
Great.
Lovely.
Idea.
So how are you using that batting cone, Rehan?
So I'm just putting them down, just creating a gap. And what I'm also doing is, because I've got 3, I can create one gap and I can put a ball on the batting cone and hit through the gap as well.
Oh, brilliant. So that's a really good tip, isn't it, to make it easier there? So to have something to put the ball on and get used to the skill like that.
Yeah.
Great idea, Rehan. Ian, any other ways you could think of making it easier when we're trying to hit the gap?
Yeah, I think, Joe, so obviously you can make the gap a bit further apart, but you can also think about the type of ball that you're using as well. So a small ball becomes challenging to hit. A bigger ball, much more chance of success, and you can get that control. So if you've got a big gap with a larger ball, that makes it nice and easy.
Yeah. Or even multiple pairs of socks or something like that, like you say, so you can have lots of those. Okay, as many times as you want. So I'm always dropping the socks.
Brilliant, Joe. I love that, actually. So we practicing with one hand, but giving us a really good level of control there.
Hopefully everyone's just aiming for that gap. That's what we want to practice this one. Just aiming for that.
Okay, we've got a few more shout outs to make. So Hazelwood Academy, Haley Primary, Saeed Shah got 53 on the rebound passing. Well done, Saeed. Got Knaresborough Primary. Kirsten Bloxham got 60 on the rebound. Jaden 27. And we've also got Woodside Primary, Priory School in Edgbaston, and Yalding Primary on board.
I think we've got some future coaches amongst that lot, those scores. That's you,
perfect
guys.
examples
Well.
from Merton as well. Lovely to see working together again.
Yeah,
That's
brilliant.
so good, guys. I love the Merton video as well because they're our school of the week. Thanks to Yorkshire Tea. That's fantastic. So you've had your 2 minutes to practice with one target. You can probably guess how we're going to make this more challenging. And our third task in a moment will be about adding those points to see if we can improve our scores. This time, though, I want you to think about our keys to success. And they're really, really similar to what we've spoken about with Joe Root and with Ian, which is great. So we're going to have our target on the floor. And I want you to think about watching that ball, okay, all the way onto the bat. So if you've got a partner, you might get them to feed the ball first and then start like a tennis rally, like you say. So you're watching that ball, so you might bounce it, watch that ball all the way onto the bat. That's really important. Like I've said before and a few weeks ago, even if it means not blinking, concentration is really, really key. Second key to success, okay, is keeping our head over the ball. So it might even mean bending that front knee a little bit more. So it's something I have to think about when I'm playing, but I might have to bend that front knee, okay, to really make sure my head goes all the way over the ball. Again, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, if I miss it, it's about having another go, having another practice. Okay, so this time you had one target before. Okay, I want you to see if you can get your personal best score. Okay, so again, if you need to make it slightly narrower, if you want to challenge yourself, okay, but just like in Rehan's practice, go now with your pair or with yourself. How many times can you get your ball through the gap? So every time I get it through and my knee front, that's 1, okay? Get the ball back, 2. You've got 2 minutes, guys. How many times can you get through your gap? Good luck. Go, go, go.
Brilliant stuff, Joe. So what I really like about if you've got the chance to work with a partner on this one, remember back to that learning objective. Provide your partner some feedback on how they can improve. They can do the same for you, because if you're both improving, we know that that score is going to improve as well. So keep working together. Don't be afraid to give that feedback.
Excellent.
And also hitting the gap, so important in cricket. You know, that's where our runs come from. So, you know, the more practice we can get in hitting the ball through the gaps, and hopefully we can score more runs when we are actually batting. So it's a really good exercise activity to do.
It's the old adage, isn't it, Rehan? So you don't look where the fielders are, you look where the fielders aren't when you're playing in a game of cricket. Hit it there.
Yeah.
That's a really good thing for a real game.
So a few more shout outs. We've got Yalding Primary, Sam Stubbs taking part, Hayes Lane, 3rd time taking part in Chance to Shine Live. So welcome back once again. Just going back to that question as well that we asked during the first part of this. We asked, why is Don Bradman so special to cricket? What is it about Don? Okay, if you can answer that one, that would be fantastic. We've got Yavna Primary and Boreham Wood are with us as well. So keep working. Remember, try different ways of feeding that ball. You can throw it to yourself. You can drop it from your chin as well. So let it drop, let it bounce, hit it through.
Yeah, or you can put it on a cone like I was doing before as well.
I love your idea of putting it under your chin, but I've got to let it bounce twice, Ian, because I'm not quite quick enough yet. So 2 bounces, then I can strike it.
So I like that one because, Joe, it leads in with your key to success. I can lean forward to get my balance over that ball.
It's a really good idea. Getting that head forward, that second key to success. That 2 minutes has gone so fast, guys. Now, if it's all right with the gents, I want you to use this next 2 minutes. I might even squeeze in this little extra practice, because I want you not just to think about what you're doing, but think about what your partner's doing. So going back to that second learning objective, okay, how are we going to offer something really positive about what they're doing? So can we give them something to praise them about doing really well? And can we give them one piece of advice? So this next 2 minutes, okay, I want you to maybe go away and think, right, okay, if my partner has 3 balls or more than 1 go each, so you've got your partner, okay, have 3 goes. So 1, 2, 3, and then you can see how you can help or improve. If you're working on your own, okay, I want you to think about one thing you're doing really well. So maybe, okay, you've got your 2 hands on your back you're really happy with, or you're leaning over, so you're keeping your head over the ball. Think about one thing you're doing really well and one thing you could improve. Okay, so that's your next challenge. And then that's going to hopefully come together where at the end, okay, we're going to get some points and some competition going. So this time, watch what your partner's doing or think about how you can improve. What would you praise yourself for? So give you one fantastic pat on the back. What would you praise yourself for? And the second thing, how could you improve? What would you suggest to yourself or your partner about how they could improve? Think about those keys to success. Have we got time for that, Ian? Is that all right?
Absolutely, Joe. Yeah, loads of time.
Fantastic. Great stuff. So guys, we're going to have that extra 2 minutes to think about what your partner is. To help you out, give your partner maybe 3 goes, so you've got plenty of time to watch them, or give yourself 3 goes, then have a think about how you can improve. Remember, what are they doing really well? Okay, and one piece of advice. Okay, guys, 2 minutes. Go, go, go.
That's a really good drill, that, Jill. Yeah.
Yeah, in your space, go on then. What, if you're enjoying the drill, what would be your praise to yourself? What are you doing really well? And then what would be your tip to yourself?
I think what I'm doing really well is keeping my eyes on the ball, sort of watching the ball all the way onto the bat. And I think if there's anything that I could probably do with is a little bit more space, so I could probably play the full shot itself. So obviously because I've got a limited space, it's quite hard for me to play that to full shot. So one of the things I would need to work on is trying to, obviously I'm watching the ball really well, but just going forward and trying to keep both hands on the bat, trying to play through my shot. That's what I need to do a bit more practice on.
Excellent, Rehan. Love that. Ian, what about you? What are you doing really well? Give me your praise to yourself on one thing you'd like to improve. Give these guys some ideas of what they're for.
So for me, I know I'm doing it well when I feel balanced when I play the shot. So I keep telling myself, watch it closely, yes, but be balanced. So for me, having that nice strong position that when I've played the shot, I can hold that position. That tells me that I'm balanced. If I'm a little bit wobbly, probably tells me I'm not quite there. So for me, balance is the one thing that I'm working on.
That's fantastic. That makes me think about Joe Root's video and how he was almost on one foot at one point, but he was still balanced, wasn't he? He's such a professional that he could go on that front leg and still be balanced. That's a really good idea.
And we think about that, Joe, in terms of linking it to some of the other activities we've done. So I'm sure Joe Root's got really strong one-legged balance. So thinking about those positions and how he moves. So thinking about that, you can do that. Could be called Joe to be a good cricketer.
Maybe he's the good one. I'll take the enthusiasm. But it's nice to share a name with somebody so special. Guys, that's fantastic. We've had loads of activities today, and we're actually going to have time today for another 2 minutes. Now it's competition time, finally. Your final challenge of being a super striker. So we've thought about our keys to success, okay? We've watched the ball all the way onto the bat. Watching that ball is really, really important, okay? We've had 2 hands on the bat with Rehan in our first practice. We've thought about balance, and that balance can be helped by keeping our head over the ball. And sometimes those different feeds can help us do that. So that one from Ian was great about dropping the ball from underneath your chin, or maybe dropping the ball just next to your front foot, something along those lines to keep your head nice and forward. So it's challenge time, guys. Let's see if we can get a couple more gates. So at the minute, it's been a bit easy, okay? It's been a bit like a tennis match, maybe just through one gate. Challenge yourself to see if you can get a couple more cones or a couple more tins of baked beans or something, okay? And create another gate. So you might have 2 gates this time, okay? So I might even make my second gate a little bit smaller. So it could come to a point. You could even, if you've got the space and the equipment, put one target at the end to aim for. So rather than hitting the ball, okay, off my tee, I could be aiming for that ball, okay, to aim for. So scoring, if you get it through one gate, you get 2 points. If you get it through the first gate and the second gate, you get 4 points or 4 runs. And if you get it through 3 or 2 or more, or even if I'm able to knock that ball off that cone, I could get 6, okay? Just like a big boundary score in a real game. So let's see. Now this demonstration, be kind, because remember, it's all about practice. So I might start with that double, okay, under thing, that double bounce 1, 2. Oh, 4 points for me. Bit hard, so I might need to be a bit more gentle to see if I can get my ball off my tee, but I started with 4 points, okay? As a pair, okay, you might come, one person might be a wicketkeeper, or you could even have somebody on this side, so you could hit it to and from each person. It's up to you how you set it out. Be creative. Go start setting up now. Okay, think about how you can make it work for your partner or your space. But first gate is 2 points. If you get it through 2 gates, okay, it's 4 points or 4 runs. And if you hit it off either what I've set up, my cone, or a third gate, you might put a third gate down, you can then get 6 runs. So it might be a really, really small gap, okay, by the end. It is up to you how you want to set it out, but the maximum you can score is 6. Hopefully you've got all your stations set up now. We're going to have our last 2 minutes, guys, to go and score as many points as you can. What is your personal best? Guys, have you got some equipment there you can use? Ian, Rehan?
Yes, I've got loads of socks for Christmas, Joe, so I'm just using more socks.
Perfect. So that's it, exactly.
I've got my water bottle. I'm going to try and knock this over.
Excellent. There you go. I like
Make
that.
sure it's tied up properly, Rehan. No spillages.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good.
My milk cartons are empty, I promise. Right, guys, you're 2 minutes out in those schools, okay, out in your houses. Good luck. See if you can score more points than England did. Go, go, go. Oh, you probably heard that one.
So we're going to do our final round of shout-outs, guys. Had a few more. So some schools got even more classes. So Helmsley Primary back again. Dorchester Middle School, Lifton Primary, Woodside, Camp School. Last opportunity. So, Joe, what I love about your activities, you've got all of those different challenges in one. So you've got your wider target and your really difficult target, all part of the same one. So you can always achieve something, always score some points.
Exactly. Oh, I've actually just scored 6 with my pair of socks, Ian. I'm so chuffed.
Good effort.
Oh, close. Didn't duck it up.
So Merton, again, what I'm really enjoying there is that we can see the encouragement and the working in pairs, some good sharing of equipment as we're going as well.
Yeah, I love how they've created that space as well, so they're safe.
That's it. We're going to come back to maybe...
really important.
Excellent, that bit of reflection. What one thing are you doing really well? Does it have to be points? No. It could be your technique.
Yeah.
Any ideas, Rehan, how you could make it easier?
Make it easier. I suppose you could probably just shorten the distance or maybe come a little bit closer. Or I think Ian might have mentioned it, make the targets a little bit bigger. Sorry.
Excellent.
Yeah,
great idea.
And make it a little bit easier. Yeah. I think for me, because I've got sort of some cones where I can place the ball, I don't have to worry about bouncing it. I could just hit it off the cone. So that would probably be a little bit easier for me.
Yeah, that's great. Some of schools might even have batting tees, mightn't they, where you have it at the club if you've played with it before.
Yeah.
Last few seconds, guys. Doing really well. Excellent. Really, really good. So hopefully you've scored more points. And if nothing else, you've had a bit of a maths lesson as well, because I lost track about how many points I scored. But I really enjoyed it. I've got a couple 6s, I've got a couple 4s, and sometimes maybe when I lost balance, I only got a couple 2 points, but that doesn't matter. Hopefully you've scored your personal best. Okay, guys, last minute, just before we head back to Ian, think about what you did really, really well, or what your partner did really well. What piece of praise would you give them? And for next week and moving forward, what piece of advice could you help them with? Guys, it's been fantastic. You've hit the gaps really, really well. Ian, back to you.
Joe, fantastic stuff. What I've really enjoyed throughout this session is that the amount of times we've got to hit the ball and practice our skills. So that practice is really going to help us both develop our confidence as well. So think about those England players. Joe Root has done so much practice that he's going to be successful because he's worked hard, he's shown that resilience. So really important. But also you guys have worked in pairs and you've given feedback. And that helps improve. So it's the quality of your practice as well as how much you do. Really important that. So a massive well done once again to everyone for taking part and for giving it your best across all 3 activities. Next week's lesson, we're going to move on to doing our bowling skills. We've got brilliant bowler next week. So we're going to be looking at bowling skills and tactics as well. So some decisions that we can make to improve our scores. Remember, keep practicing at home, at school, in the back garden. And this lesson will be available to watch back again once again via our Chance to Shine Live webpage or via the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, subscribe to our YouTube page. Remember, if you want to be in with a chance of winning some bumper Yorkshire tea packs, remember, becoming our Yorkshire Tea School of the Week, please share your videos, your pictures with us. Firstly, with Chance to Shine on Twitter, so @ChanceToShine. Also with our partners at Yorkshire Tea. So if you do send us in a video or picture, in with a chance of winning a bumper pack like Merton Primary School had. And of course, we have to say a big thank you to the teachers, all of the staff, and most importantly, the kids at Merton Primary. Give us a big wave, guys. You have been absolutely fantastic today. Not only have you developed your skills, you've worked hard in your pairs and as a class. So thanks once again. Well done, Joe and Rehan. Fantastic session from you guys. Remember those tips from Joe Root. Who can forget those? Please join us again next Wednesday. Same time, same place for the next instalment of Chance to Shine Live. Take care. Keep safe.